Good morning, people of Earth. Ironically, again, it's today, and I'm doing another morning ruck. It's kind of like a morning ritual. 50 pounds today because life is hard and you have to overtrain. So yeah, I got a lot of good feedback from the little thing I did yesterday, so I thought I'd do another one in a much quieter neighborhood. There's a lot of noise and traffic in the other one because I'm down one of the major alleys in Visalia. So we're going to talk about today. Oh yeah, so two more things of interest. I'll call this one the Barefoot Battlecry. Yeah, let's go with that. So the quick one that another one, probably more big, just as big as the Father Time thing, was or continues to be, why didn't you make shoes, or why didn't you make footwear, or why didn't you make sandals? I did. We did. I lost count. I made 5 or 6 pair of sandals, and it didn't really. It was temporary. Like, so I think I mentioned we were in a drought. It was like the second worst drought in the history of that area. And so you never saw us eating anything that was ripe. There just wasn't enough water there to really make anything grow. So the yucca wasn't exactly thick and luscious or juicy. And the yucca leaves have to be processed. You got to cut it. You got to get the threads or all the spikes and the razor sharp stuff off to the sides, because I think it's called Spanish sword yucca, where it's just got razors up and down both sides of the blade. And so you had to get all that off, but then you also had to heat it up in the fire. Like, you had to lay it on a coal bed to warm it up, and that activates like the sugars and the starches in it, and it makes it pliable so that it doesn't actually break. And so that made it pliable enough for us to like make sandals out of them and bend them and stuff. But then they dried out immediately because of the heat and the lack of water and nutrients in the plants and everything else. A pair of sandals would last like maybe a day at tops. By the next morning, they were blown out. And obviously I didn't have any for my insertion, but for the migration hike over the hill, I made like 3 or 4 pair. And then I made a ton of extra cordage to repair them, you know, en route. And those 4 pair of sandals got me up over the top of the mountain, and that was it. I was barefoot by the time I was coming down the other side. And after that, where me and Mando were at for our second camp, you didn't need it inside the bowl that we were living in that area. It wasn't that bad. And then we've been there 11 days, and you kind of forget how comfortable it is there. And we were just like, there wasn't any yucca where we were at. I had to go back to where that big ball was. And nobody wanted to do that. We just thought it would be better to just kind of, you know, get some mud on the feet or whatever and just tough it out. I had my ski pole thing, and we'd be all right. And so we did make a lot of foot gear. It honestly really just wasn't worth the time and the effort, because the stuff it would just powder out. You know, you're lucky if you get a mile out of them. So and the other one was the Battlecry. So that was actually a portion of a daily, I guess Battlecry is the right word. So I'm a avid student of Stoic philosophy. And in Stoicism, there is a practice called premeditatio malorum. Premeditatio malorum. And which is to premeditate the evil. And the idea being that, you know, you plan for the worst, prepare for the worst, and hope for the best. And that's a daily practice of waking up and going, okay, you know, imagine all the fuckery that could happen today. You know, the traffic on the way to work, the flat tire, that 4-hour meeting that could have been an email. All that stuff's going to happen. And in Stoic philosophy, it isn't the situation that's the problem. It's your reaction to the situation that's the problem. And you're responsible for your triggers. And getting pissed off and flipping out doesn't really help the situation at all. Trust me, I know. And so the idea is that you prep yourself and you go, okay, you take on this idea that you're a gladiator in the arena of daily life. And you say, okay, everything that can go wrong will go wrong. And yeah, I'm still going to get up and I'm still going to kill this. And that's what that Old Norse prayer basically is. It's today is every life is a war, a conflict, a large conflict. Today is just another battle. I am a Drengr, which is like a bold warrior, a badass. Don't mess with me. Come at me, bro, kind of thing. And then I didn't say the whole thing. The other part of it is that I accept this. I accept this challenge. I accept all of these adversities, that all the fuckery that's going to come today, I accept it. But it's with my acceptance of it that I consecrate the battlefield. And this is the way. Because, Mandalorian, hello. So yeah, so that's kind of my daily morning mantra. That's how I start out the day, waving a weapon in the air and screaming in Old Norse. So it's kind of a default for, like, you know, when things get kind of challenging, bring it. So yeah, Stoic philosophy is a thing that got me a lot of miles through the challenge. And I don't know, you know, as a combat veteran who has some residual issues from my experiences, Stoicism has been the saving grace for me. And so I think that's about it. I appreciate all the responses and all the positivity. And I can only think of like one or two more things that I had on my list when I had this really cool idea to do this. So I'm gonna I had one more. I think, oh, it's like the billhook. I'll probably do something about the billhook and something else. Anyway, yeah, that's it. I don't know if you can hear me with the blower or whatever. You guys have a good day, and accept the challenge. Go fuck some shit up.